In this class, we are going to learn how to do drawings that follow mechanical drafting standards. And for mechanical drawings, which we'll be doing, we follow ASME standards. ASME stands for the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. So a standard is a voluntary set of ways we do things. To make a standard, people in a given profession, like drafting, get together in committees and they decide how to do things in a standardized way. Now, this is voluntary. We all agree that we'll do things this certain way, but there are no standard police. Nobody's going to arrest you if you don't do the drawings that way. It's just that our drawings look professional and like we know what we're doing when we do follow the standards. And I should say that companies will vary these standards a little bit. So we're going to learn what the formal official standards are. When you go to work for a company, there's a good chance that they might have some slight variations one way or the other. And the standard is whatever your boss says it is when you're at work. But what we're going to learn is what the formal agreed upon guidelines say. Now, a standard is different from a code, like in a building code, let's say. A code is a law, and a code happens when some legal body, like a city or a county, adopts a standard into law. Now it's law. But anyway, sorry to go on and on. For us, we are following standards which are voluntary. And here's how the whole thing is structured. You may have heard of an international organization for standards. It's called ISO. And ISO writes standards for darn near everything you can think of in the modern world. You know, light switches, credit card size, how to make drawings, you name it. There are standards that volunteers have agreed upon. And because this is a global world, we're trying to make our drawings and our parts so that our colleagues in other countries can use them. So each country sends a representative organization to the international ISO meetings where people work out the fine points. In the US, in the United States, our organization, which belongs to ISO, is called ANSI, which stands for American National Standards Institute. And in the US, ANSI does not write standards itself. It used to, but it doesn't now. It is more of the library, the Grand Central Station, the archive. So it coordinates all the standards that are written by other groups. One of the groups is ASME. That's the one that writes our mechanical drawing standards. Another group is ASTM. They write standards for testing and materials. Another one is SAE, Society of Automotive Engineers. Here are some words that say what I just said. So here's ISO. Our US member is ANSI. One of the groups under ANSI is ASME, and that's the one we'll be looking at all term. And then here are some others, ASTM and SAE and so forth. So now that you have that context, let's think about ASME drawing standards. There are lots of ASME standards for other things. Sizes of keyways in shafts, how to make teeth on gears, safety requirements for pressure vessels, conveyors, you name it. Mechanical stuff are us. And each kind of standard is in a category that starts with a letter of the alphabet. And it happens that drawing standards all start with the letter Y. We are going to look at the first 5 standards in this category, starting today with the standard that is about title blocks for our drawings, and that standard happens to be ASME Y14.1. There's what the cover looks like. We'll spend most of our time here in ASME Y14.5, which is the dimensioning standard, but we're going to start out with title blocks.